Hello everyone. I wanted to express a little bit of my feelings today about veganism and what it means to me to not eat animals and care for their well-being as a steward of love on this planet. This is a topic that struggles inside of me. I often see posts about suffering animals, and there's been so much exposed people, brave people going into these slaughterhouses and just where the animals are kept and taking videos and pictures of just horrific things happening. And they're very difficult to look at. They're very difficult to be with. And I actually try to avoid the images because it just sits in my head, in my heart. And can't get them out of my head and my heart. And this is something for me that's been with me for a very long time. As a child, I didn't like to eat meat, but I didn't know it was an option to not eat meat. And as soon as I found out it was an option to not eat meat, I was probably about 13, I stopped. I don't think I stopped everything. I think I stopped red meat. And then eventually I stopped chicken, and then I was off and on with fish throughout my 20s, maybe even a little bit of my 30s. Finally, so I was off and on with vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian through my adult life, and then finally went full vegan for the last time, maybe 15 years ago. So it's so painful for me. And it's one of these things where I express it because I feel it so deeply. And many people get offended, upset, and because they still eat meat. They still eat dairy or whatever. And maybe take it as a personal assault when I choose to express my feelings about being vegan. And so then, of course, the heated debates go back and forth whenever I post anything. And honestly, I am not a debate person. It is not something I enjoy. But because this issue is so strong within me, I don't stop. I see a reasoning for love in every argument that comes my way. And as far as I'm concerned, there's always a reason for love, which is, in my opinion, letting these animals be, letting them live, letting them have the same right that we have the right to live. And I know there are still, there's still parts of humanity that don't have the right to live freely, still. And we see that as tragic. Most people see that as tragic. And, in our not too distant history in this country, it was legal to have slaves. So bear with me while I explain my feelings about this. Imagine living in a time where it was okay to hang someone from a tree, to burn someone's house down, to torture someone, because everybody agreed, for whatever reason, that that type of person that looked like that was not worthy of love, not worthy of being treated with kindness and humanity. I feel the same way about animals. And it's happening everywhere. It's happening in our backyards. It's happening everywhere. They're suffering. They're abused. And eventually they're slaughtered, killed, murdered. Their life is taken from them. There is no kind way to take someone's life, in my opinion. You can't humanely slay someone who doesn't want to be killed. And if that's the case, then why aren't we humanely killing human beings? Because we need their flesh, or whatever we need from them. It would be insanity. I feel the same way about animals. I don't see how we can have a society filled with love when we're treating a certain portion of our society with so much hatred. Treating them like they're slaves. Treating them like they're just here to fulfill our needs. And I have to honestly say that when I see people eating meat, and I know a large part of the spiritual community does choose to eat meat, I honestly feel, whatever level of spirituality they happen to be at, that they're cutting off a part of their heart. That there's something within that they're not seeing, they're not delving into, they're not looking at. That there's something cut off in the heart that they're refusing to look at. They're refusing to delve into. Because looking at these graphic images of these animals being tortured and suffering, you can't fully be in your heart and let that be okay. You just can't. It's not possible. Namakara, makara, 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 makara. So I'm sorry about my throat. I've had a bit of a cold this week, so I'm just going to push through this. So I've been feeling alienated from certain groups of people, or, when I put these Facebook posts up, and then certain people who still eat meat or dairy, or, they're defending their position. It's not a personal assault. It is not a personal assault on anyone. It's something that is so deep inside of me. I can't just sit back and say, it's okay. That's okay. It's okay that we're torturing and killing these beings. I can't sit back and say it's okay, because it's not okay with me. Doesn't mean I love people any less. I love each and every being that exists. And I have to speak up for what feels right for me. I have to. Because when I'm on my deathbed and I look back and I say, did I do everything I came here to do? If I didn't do that one, I will know that I did not do everything that I came here to do. So something I think we're going to approach today, I'm going to close my eyes and let the divine come through, is this need for protein, need for animal flesh in order to be healthy. I think it's a belief that we've established in our society by a lot of different means. I mean, meat and dairy industry have done a wonderful job at convincing us that we need meat and dairy to be healthy. And we know that when we believe something, it becomes true. So if we believe that our body needs meat protein or whatever it is that we think it needs in order to be healthy, then we've established that within ourselves. There are people who live on air. They're called breatharians, and they are probably the healthiest people in the world. Living on prana, living on air, living on energy, living on light. They don't need anything in the world of substance to stay healthy. So why would we need animal flesh, animal milk to be healthy? It's a belief. And I know there's a lot of arguments about that because I get them on all my Facebook feeds. But so-and-so's going to die. They have such low iron. If they don't eat meat, they really, really, really do need meat. Well, what we do need is to change our belief system around the fact that we think we need meat. So, I am going to close my eyes and let the divine come forth. Shavakurumakre about this subject. Kanmate. Ishtavakarama aliyamu krutarate shavakarana surokaramate. Marana klias shorokru namata sarate gruf. Meharamata arete. Behorono orokrotana aliyatakarana sava kurono surukrupaba. Ivahina yalayana kuru surokrana savava kanama rebe. Reve karana harata karana sara karana narete. Ebe karama sava karama surukru hundarata. So let's just sit for a moment and understand our true beingness, our true worthiness as a being of light, as a being of truth. Niyama karma salia takuru tandara karma savalia pokruf. Dayana karutalia vakrono sorayeva karma horeke krono rupa karma savate. Yorubaba hamayarov. Miaroma aliyatakrana sareve ki rama. Bevaya wo kama reve kinia va kunu sorov. I came here to be light. I came here to be love. I came here to be full of joy, peace, divinity, truth. Karma reve shayanaka. If I came here to be light, if I came here to be love, if I came here to be full of joy and truth, how can I stand for the suffering of those beings who are so directly insulted by our violence? This is directly at the hand of man that these animals are suffering. Directly. We're not talking about, yes, we make substances that are not good for the planet, that are not good for people, and that are not good for animals. I'm not talking about that right now. We're directly suffering at the hand of humanity. How have we cut ourselves off so deeply from the pain and suffering of these beings, these beautiful beings that are here to be light, just as we are. How have we cut ourselves off so severely, so deeply from the pain and suffering of these animals? One need only turn on TV, YouTube, and find a channel dedicated, devoted to showing the suffering, to see the truth of what we're saying. We can't ignore it anymore. It is so visible. It is so seen for those willing to open their eyes and see. Why do we insist that we need to continue with this suffering and this abuse? Why do we insist? Why do we fight back when we see the word vegan? Why does it cause such a strong resistance, such a strong reaction in us? This is suffering at the hand of humanity. Direct suffering and violence at the hand of humanity. Direct suffering and violence at the hand of humanity. Shiva Kuno Rupa Alianyara Granata Shaiva Hama Howai Ve Rai Yo. So imagine your precious child being pulled away from you. Imagine your precious child being pulled away from you. And the beings that are pulling them away believing they have every right to do so. Why? Why do they believe they have every right to do so? Why do we have the right to pull a child away from a mother? Why? Who gave us that right? Who gave us that right? Bayana, because we believe we need that cow's milk? Could there be a more selfish act than to say we need that cow's milk, therefore I am willing to cause suffering to those animals because I need her milk. I need her milk. So I'm willing to cause suffering, torture, murder. Shairamiyaba. Have you seen a cow cry? Have you seen tears streaming down the face of a mother as her child is yanked away? Or have you seen her go so cold that she doesn't care anymore about anything or anyone? Because the torture's been so great? If this was happening to humanity, it would be horrific. Horrific. Think about it. Think about it. Put humans in the place of animals in all of these situations and think about it. We cannot preach love and peace and be creating pain and suffering every single day, day in and day out, and defending our position in creating this pain and suffering. Defending our position to eat our meat because we need it. We need it for our health. Think about it. Shaiva kruno krokoratanda aliyatakarama. Is there a more selfish position to take? Oh no, I can take your life because I need it for my health. Your life is irrelevant. I need it for my health. Could there be a more selfish position to take? This is not spiritual. It is not of light, and it is not of love. Shaiva kruno hrupaba amhabate. Mayava nukuru sairama alireve. Rokobaba masarete. Hrobaive ko nehorave hingiraba. Nevava moso. So I'm calling it out. I'm calling it out for everyone that says I'm spiritual. I'm doing the work. I want love and light on this earth plane. We're going into the highest realms of love and light. But I'm still causing suffering. Tremendous suffering. Tremendous suffering to the beings on this plane. So yes, there's a lot of suffering that goes on by our actions every day. Yes, there is. And all of this will change. But the first and foremost is the direct suffering that is offered by our hand directly needs to stop. How can anything else change in that till that changes? Shiva kamasarete kaliano krubaba havriana krete rufai nigrana. I beg you, I honor your opinion. I honor and respect who you are as a being of light. And I beg you to counter yourself by looking within and seeing what's truly there and what's really going on. What's really going on in that heart of yours? What's really going on? Why do you need to eat meat so badly? Why do you need to drink milk so badly? What is it within you that needs to be seen, that needs to be dug up? Why do the excuses come so intensely when you see the word vegan? Why is the reaction so strong? I have the right to do what I want to do. You can't tell me what to do. I have the right to do what I want to do. Well, yes, you do. But don't call yourself a divine being of love and light and continue torturing and provoking suffering and other beings to this degree. Of course, we all cause suffering. Yes, we do. Yes, we walk through the grass. Yes, we accidentally kill a bug here or there. Yes, we do. We all cause suffering. And we can cause great, 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 great suffering by distributing pain in the way that we currently are. We couldn't do that to humans and call ourselves a spiritual being. We wouldn't be able to get away with it. Mata. Why can we still get away with it with these divine beings of light that come in the form of animals? These beautiful beings of light that are non-aggressive. We pick the most non-aggressive beings who have so much to offer us in love and kindness. I'm challenging you to look within and see where the light can shine more brightly, where the heart can open up more, where we can look more deeply at our wounds, our own emotional wounds that are still causing us to ignore this pain and suffering that happens every single day. I beg you to look deeply within yourself. I beg you to look deeply within yourself. We cannot so blatantly cause the suffering that we're causing and say that we are divine beings of love and light. We cannot. Yes, we all have improvements to make. Of course we do. Yes, we all cause pain to people around us. Of course we do. But seriously, look at how extreme this violence is. Look at how extreme. If you're unsure, go to PETA website, PETA. You'll find some images pretty damn quickly that show what's going on. Can't deny it. We can't deny it. And if we look at it and we say that doesn't affect me, then we're really hardcore ignoring something within ourselves. We must open up to the freedom, to the grace, to the truth that is the right of every being that exists here on this earth plane. Alright, that's enough. I beg you, as spiritual warriors of light, I beg you, as friends, as cohorts, I beg you, please look at the actions we're taking. Please. And I will walk through this process again and again because I'm doing my own healing with it right now. Watching the extreme reactions I get from people I love deeply, from people who are in the spiritual community so deeply, strongly reacting when I ask through post that we just look at our actions. We just look at what's happening. Just a suggestion to look a little more deeply. I will make a video in the future about health issues that people feel that they have from not eating meat or dairy. So we can start diving into the deeper intricacies of it. But let me tell you something, we don't need it. Is violence and pain and suffering are really helping your body? Violence and pain and suffering, really? That's helping you to be well? Does that make sense? Go in the heart with that question. Does that really make sense? That violence and pain and suffering is helping you to be well? We must go deeper with it. We must ask forward questions. How can we do the right thing? How can we stand up for what's right? How can we be the truth that we are? How can we be the love that we are? Matane. Miautokuruna Sava. Especially spiritual warriors of light, I beg you, go deep in your heart and ask these questions, please. Pain and suffering at the hand of humanity is never going to bring us into the highest states of light. It's just not. And we all know this. We all know this. And there is no humane way to take the life of someone who does not want to be killed. There is no humane way to take the life of someone who does not want to be killed. Put yourself in their shoes. If you're walking down the street at night and someone decides they want to kill you for whatever reason, they want your stuff, right? It's a good selfish reason. Well, they have stuff and I want it, and I'll be better if I have their stuff, so I'm going to kill them. Pretty much the same thing. So if they humanely come up to you and slice your throat and you didn't feel anything, you were just humanely killed, would that be okay? How about if they took your son or your daughter and did that? Just decided, oh, I need a liver. My liver's bad. That person has a good liver. I can live if I take that person's liver. Well, I can kill them humanely. I'll drug them up first so they don't feel anything, and then I'll just give them a gentle slice. Dead, gone. Take their liver. Got what I need. They're dead. Doesn't matter. God put that person there so I could have that person's liver. Come on, guys. Think about it. Think about it. It doesn't make sense. You know it doesn't make sense. I love you. 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 And I love you. And we'll talk about this more, because my heart is bursting with the need to bring this forward, especially in the spiritual community. Especially in the spiritual community. Kurumatarata. I love you. I will see you soon. Jai Ma. Makurumate.
Love is all you ever need.